That's always a good fragrance. My scent of the day was Hermes Eau Grave. I was in the mood for something that gives me low key Aventus vibes. And I really like that fragrance a lot ever since Dutch put me onto it. So I have some samples and I have some other amazing fragrances here. And one in particular that I will talk about briefly is my latest pickup from Gallagher Fragrance. And over time, I spent a long time with my discovery set. Oh, you're welcome. Ooh, Taboo Tobacco. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah, I hear you. So I have a couple samples from Bodicea the Victorious here. I just learned they actually sell mini bottles on their website. I never knew that. And I purchased one. And since I like rose and I got my nose on ardent, that's a beautiful scent. It's not for everybody, but I can appreciate it. And it's not really expensive either. And I also have Night of Love, which is phenomenal. I already got my nose on that. And of course, I had to get another sample of 1907 because I absolutely love that scent. So, without further ado, I do have a new display case in the background. As you can see, spent about 12 hours putting that bad boy together. Then I had to rearrange everything. Um, I also will be getting rid of those bags soon. I have a bunch of new equipment coming in probably within 1 to 2 weeks. Mr. George Zaharoff was kind enough to send me some posters my way so I can hang them up. And I got some other things that I'm going to add to my background. I got some ideas brewing in my head. So eventually, my background with my display case will look a lot better than what it is. So I have to agree with some people. Um, the bags back there, the Louis, the Tom Ford, it can be distracting with my display case. But if you want to see the display case, I will move out of the way for a bit. It does change colors. It actually is like, you know, the same setup as what not so famous YouTuber has. And it actually has this built in human sensor. If I was to turn it on, when I walk up to it, it'll turn on. When I walk away, it'll turn off. And I paid about $172 for it. I did reinforce the shelves myself. I bought these metal L-shaped brackets and I replaced all the other crappy ones that this display case came with. So now it can hold a little more weight on each shelf. So let's get right to it. Um, One of my latest pickups is from Gallagher Fragrance and it's called Amongst Waves. Now, unfortunately, when you do live stream in vertical format, it can cause a mirror image where the fragrance label itself can appear backwards. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. So I found a way to fix that issue when I do my shorts. I just record on my phone and not use do shorts directly on the YouTube app itself. But I gotta say, now there's another way I can show the bottle where everything is the correct way. I would have to flip the camera around. So I thought about doing that for a split second. Their bottles are really unique, and I do have really nice conversations with the perfumer's wife. I told her how much I am really enjoying this fragrance. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you this bottle here. And it's really, really cool looking. And I'm gonna flip it around for a split second so you guys can check it out. So, as you can see, here's the bottle. It's a cool looking cap. And I really like what he does with his branding. He's Irish, and I'm half Irish as well. So, I really enjoy this fragrance. So, this one here is called Amongst Waves. And I gotta say, when it comes to fresh aquatic, this one really stands out. And it is totally different than all these other fresh aquatic fragrances out on the current market. And I like the story behind this fragrance. He wanted to go a different direction and not have something that has total like redundancy. Now, sadly, this has a poor rating. I don't know why, but I guess that can happen. Now, I don't personally rate fragrances. I just never really got into that kind of thing. However, this one here, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I would give this one a 7.9 out of 10. What I like about it is in the opening, you get green apple. It's not overly sweet. It adds this crisp freshness like you just went to the grocery store, bought yourself a nice ripened green apple and took a bite out of it. And then you got some honeydew. Now, the honeydew on my skin isn't super sweet. It's just right. It kinda adds this, like, different type of freshness to it, and then you got some aquatic accords, sea salt, and then you got some patchouli in the dry down. I also do pick up some ginger as well, and one particular note that truly stands out the most to me that is being used, and not many perfumers do this, it has tulip in this, and tulip has a unique aroma itself. And this is such a beautiful scent. Um, I don't find it youthful. I wouldn't recommend this to a teenager. I would say it's slightly mature, but it's really different and unique. And that's what I really like about this fragrance. I was wearing this one for the I wanna say a couple days in a row. My dad is a huge fan of this one. My dad loves this fragrance, so I kinda got a good idea for Father's Day, and I'm probably gonna gift him this. And, yeah, Gallagher Fragrance has some beautiful stuff. They do amazing what Dave does, what he does behind the scenes in-house, he does amazing work, and all around, this is a beautiful fragrance. The lime here is very zesty. It's almost photorealistic, and not many people can get lime done right, but he definitely does. Michael Paul is another one that does phenomenal work with his stuff at Day 3 Fragrances, but this one is beautiful. absolutely amazing. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that. And we're going to get right to it. He's got a new release for this year, and I'm going to show you the picture of it. I'm going to flip the camera here. So here's his new release. As we can see here, it's called Ginfinity. And my guess it's got some coastal botanicals, violet, lavender, gin, and all that fun stuff. Maybe some cucumber there, just by what's in that glass. So, and he sent me a sample, and it's his newest and latest creation. So, I want to see what this smells like on skin. So, that's the first one I'm going to check out. And I really like the name of this fragrance. And we're going to see what this one is about. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm curious. I'm hoping this fragrance doesn't have any similarities and it's its own thing. And I try not to really compare this to other stuff. I try not to do that. And it's pretty good. I am This is different. The gin here kind of has this saltiness to it, kind of salty. This is pretty good. This is different. I'm liking this here. Yeah, that gin, it kind of has this saltiness to it, and then you got some coastal botanicals. It's kind of watery, so yeah, I'm definitely picking up cucumber water. Kind of feels clean, but the suede here, it's different. It's kind of like a brand new, um, clean suede smell in a way. I find this unique. This is different. This is what I like when it comes to fragrance. I like different stuff that's never really been done before. Um, I can't really say this would be similar to Gin and Tonic by M. I don't really see it, but I know that fragrance, and I don't get that here. Maybe a couple of notes with gin and the cucumber water. Yeah, that could make sense. But far as them being similar or, you know, I don't really see that because the violet is pushing this one into a fresh direction. And the lavender here, it's really, really on point. It's nice, aromatic. This is good. This is actually different. Um, I wouldn't mind adding this one into my personal collection. I like this one. This is perfect for summer, summer day, daily driver. I find this office friendly. I wouldn't know. I haven't got my nose on JPG Narcisse at all yet. Best perfume for a party, Aromatics Forbidden Fruit. That's like nightlife energy. That's the perfect one for that kind of stuff. Overall, Ginfinity by Gallagher Fragrance. This is a win-win, and I can't wait to send him an email and let him know what I think about this one. And I like the story as well and how this new fragrance came into creativity. And what I gather is him and his wife during COVID-19 and that lockdown nonsense, they were having some cocktails, talking, vibing, and all of a sudden he decided to bring his favorite gin to life into perfumery. So that is awesome. And that is a really good inspiration, bringing your favorite gin to life with some notes. That's amazing. And that's called talent. And that's talent to me. In fact, not to get off topic, I have my own personal fragrance that is coming out soon. And I can't wait to have that in my hands. Hey, what's up, JJ? So, another one that got recommended to me is from my good friend Dutch by Gallagher Fragrance. He said this is fire. It's like one of a kind, something like you would consider an ace in a hole. And it's called Purple Powder. And from what I gather, it has like 50 ingredients. It's unique, different, could be challenging for some. And I have a sample here, and I know it's got iris for one, just because of the picture that I'm seeing here on the face card. But I got to know how this one is, and I hear it's really good. And I think what's his name at Gallagher Fragrance won an award for this one because it's just out of the ordinary and different than what normally people do. Man, this opening here, magnificent. Yeah, this is totally different. Wow, there's a lot going on here. Whew, this is fire. Man, shout out to Dutch the Bible Thumper. You got some good taste. Purple Powder by Gallagher is absolutely stunning. Man, is this good. There is a lot going on here. What I'm picking up right now is this like yellow mandarin, black and pink pepper. I'm getting this iris powder, and it's so like powdery. It's woodsy here. You got some benzoin going on. There's some other stuff going on as well. It's kind of earthy. And it's got like this toasted cinnamon. Man, I'm gonna have to add this one to my personal collection. I cannot get enough of this. This is really, really good. Man, is this good. Oh, there's a lot more other stuff going on with this fragrance, but this is up my alley. I like this. And shout out to Gallagher Fragrance. Dave, you do amazing work. If you ever come across my live, this is absolutely stunning. I would consider this one 10 out of 10. This is beautiful. I find this one to be grown up. It's definitely complex, but I'm liking what I'm smelling right now on skin. This is very, very unique. This is beautiful. Man, I can't even really put it into words right now, but this is absolutely stunning. This is amazing. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Thanks for tuning in, dropping in. This is phenomenal here. I am enjoying this. I like this. This is really good. What I see here that stands out with this scent is the way this iris powder is coming in with this cedarwood and yellow mandarin. Then you got some spice, and the way the cedarwood's coming in, it's, you know, woodsy and it's earthy. This is good, really good. Thoughts on Stronger with You Armani, the original? I never got my nose on it. I hear it's pretty good. It's not bad. My favorite Stronger with You is the parfum version. The sweetness is toned down, kind of like a toasted powdery chestnut. Um, I'm not too crazy for the entire Stronger with You line entirely. I didn't like Intensely. I didn't care for it. Absolutely was okay, but Stronger with You Amber is phenomenal, and Stronger with You Parfum is my personal favorite. But some people like the original, some don't. What matters is if you like it, then you like it, and that's all that matters. What mind games do I own? Roy Lopez and French Defense. Those are my top 2 favorite. See what this other fragrance is doing. This one's kinda getting with the gin and the coastal botanicals going here, it's kinda heading into a aquatic direction, the way this gin is coming off my skin right now. It's kinda clean, slightly aquatic with this salty gin. Man, this is actually interesting here. Well, eventually, these 2 here will be in my collection. Any Parfums de Marly? Yeah, I currently only own 1, and particularly my favorite one from Parfums de Marly is Cologne. It's my all-time favorite. I never really bothered to get any other Parfums de Marly yet. I don't know. I find Cologne to be signature scent worthy for me, and it's the only one I truly like from Parfums de Marly the most. Have I gotten my nose on wild vetiver? Yes, I have a decant of it. Do I need a full bottle? No. I have to agree with Soulful Sente. Wild vetiver is like a higher quality version of Mancera vetiver sensuelle to my nose, and it makes more sense. Um, Not one to one, but it gives me that, you know, vibe, kind of reminds me of a high quality vetiver sensuelle. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Um, I think some people like it over the original vetiver by Creed. I actually enjoy the original personally. The original vetiver. It's such a unique, soapy take when it comes to vetiver. It's very clean and refreshing. Do I like Tom Ford? Do I have any? Um, I have a little travel spray. Um, I got nothing against Tom Ford, although I'm not really crazy for Tom Ford. There's only 2 I could see myself truly owning from Tom Ford. which is Ombre Leather Parfum and Boys Pacific. I think those 2 really stand out the most to me. I'm not too crazy for Tom Ford, unfortunately. Hey, what's up, Grim? Yeah, Cologne Vetiver Infinity, that I hear is really good. Cologne's got some fantastic stuff. Yeah, Tobacco Vanille is the little travel spray I own. Oh, Dior Homme Intense, beautiful stuff. I like that one. That's a phenomenal fragrance entirely. Not everybody likes that, um, lipsticky, waxy powderiness. The old school Dior Homme Intense was phenomenal. The newer ones, I hear they're pretty good. If you're into that, yeah, why not? I like the original Dior Homme Intense. I like all the flankers. I like that kind of stuff. Trying to wash your benzoin beaker? Sounds fun. Uh, thanks, but that's not the real reason why I got that LV tattoo. That's a long story for another time. Um, when it comes to Louis Vuitton, having just one fragrance, it's really hard to say one 'cause having a favorite fragrance, it changes every week for me. Um, I think currently, lately, Imagination has been my most favorite. Unfortunately, it just changes. Every week, I have a new favorite fragrance. But if I was to say, um, the most 2 Louis Vuitton fragrances I wear that have the hugest dents would be L's and Imagination. Some of the other ones are starting to get there, but Imagination is like my reset fragrance, tones me down. And yeah, for everybody who is in my live stream, hit that like button. It signals engagement and it makes my little channel to continue to grow. I don't find Ombre Nomad to be shitty. However, I can understand that to to a certain degree. And not many people like oud. That's what it comes down to. It's the oud in that fragrance. It's kind of slightly funky. I don't get barnyard, but once that oud starts to settle down, it really gets beautiful. Some ouds and some fragrance is tolerable, easy on the nose palate, while others are straight funk. A good prime example of funk that most people will not want to get their nose on is Boadicea the Victorious Imperial. That's not for everybody. That one there is very medicinal, herbal, and it's got some funkness to it. But within 3 to 4 minutes, it settles down and it gets into a nice woody gourmand-like scent. It's a beautiful fragrance. That's if you can get past that 3-minute opening. You love the oud and oud wood. I think it's a masterpiece. I never got my nose on oud wood, but I hear it's pretty good. The scent profile looks nice. Eventually, I do wanna add a couple Tom Fords to my collection. I just haven't really got around to it. One of the newest fragrances, that I will have on my way is with, from Zaharoff, uh, and what's his name? TLTG Reviews. He's got his newest release, remix off the original Business Over Pleasure. Now it's called Pleasure Over Business, Higher Concentration. I am looking forward to that when it comes in. Um, I plan out checking out some more from Sensual Obsession. That's at the top of my list right now. He's doing amazing things. I own 4 from him currently. And I gotta say, my favorite one, like I was on Grimm's live stream yesterday, ch chopping it up with these 2 gents. Cherry smoked bourbon is absolutely my favorite one by Sensual Obsession. When it comes to cherry and bourbon, that one is absolutely done right. And hey, for 40 some dollars, you can't really complain. And that guy really knows what he's doing. You know, not everybody can really get a good fragrance down. Some I feel like they're natural. It's just the way they're wired, if that makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of amazing perfumers out there. I can name a bunch, and I can go on and on and on about it. However, out of all these perfumers out there, you know, I just feel like it's natural. They were born that way, and it's the way they're wired up. And I think the best creativity comes from just getting your hands into it, and it's all trial and error. What works, what doesn't work, and do something that's never been done before, if that makes sense. That's why I decided, this time around, I decided to, purchase a custom fragrance to cater to my scent profile and what I like. And eventually, when it's here, it's here. And I will be looking forward to that. And I know it's going to come out good. And I can't wait to see Grimm's, but I know mine will be good because I know what I like in a fragrance. And mine is basically about me, where I started in my fragrance journey and where I am today. So it's quite personal and intentional. But overall, if I was to add Tom Ford to my collection, it would probably be Boyce Pacific. What I like about Boyce Pacific is turmeric that is being used in that fragrance. And I had samples upon samples and I went through it. That's one of my favorite Tom Fords. Tobacco Vanilla is nice. It's beautiful fragrance. The tobacco is drier. It's pretty good, but that's not something I can really wear in summer. That maybe like summer evening, date night, yes, but during the day, heck no. I find that one to really perform the best during the fall and winter for me. As soon as I step outdoors, that is when that one really shines. Um, Ombre Leather Parfum is one I would like to add. Oud Wood maybe sometime. The other one that recently came out, something with orange, I can't pronounce the first name to it. I got my nose on that at I think I went to Ulta. It's a nice citrus forward fragrance one, but, you know, only time will tell. And Dutch, what are you doing to me? Shout out to my guy Dutch the Bible Thumper. Purple Powder by Gallagher Fragrance. That's fire. Absolutely fire. It's powdery. Toasted cinnamon, kind of vanillic with this benzoin. Man, is this good. That is phenomenal. And Ginfinity by Gallagher. This is good too. So these two will eventually find their way into my collection. I'm liking these two the best so far. And let's get right to it. So here's what we have here by Boadicea the Victorious. And I'm going to flip this around here so you guys can see the little bottle. So here's the bottle. It's a little mini travel size 10 milliliter Boadicea the Victorious. We got Ardent, and I am a sucker for rose. So I can't wait to get my nose back on this fragrance. And this one I hear is really, really good. And I only spent maybe a night with this testing it out. And I gotta say, for these little bottles here, they have some decent atomizers. If I'm not mistaken, there is cocoa in this fragrance. We shall see. I guess I'm gonna go right here. Couple of sprays. Photorealistic rose. There is oud in this. It's kind of dark, but see, this is up my alley. The oud here is animalic. It's got a, like a dirty rose feel. For the first few minutes here, it's definitely animalic. Then it settles down and out comes some woods and some other beautiful florals. This is beautiful. I love one. I am a fan of this fragrance. This is my kind of fragrance. This would definitely be something I would pull the trigger on and grab. Um, I think beautylive.com has this for about 160. All right, Kevin, enjoy your Sunday. Have a good one. I appreciate you stopping by. This is good. I appreciate the rose here. And what I like here, I feel like the coconut or the cocoa, the cow, tones down that funk with the oud and it makes it a lot more approachable. This could be challenging for some, but if you're into oud and you like rose, this would definitely be for you. And it's good quality, minus the crazy prices when it comes to this house. But I'm happy to get my nose on this. This one isn't too expensive when it comes to Boadicea the Victorious, unlike some of their other crazy, ridiculous priced fragrances, but it is what it is. It's the market. And you really can't, you know, change how a fragrance price really comes down to it. Because you got to think when you're working with raw materials, resins, they're expensive, especially like, let's say iris butter, a really good quality, can be absolutely expensive. Um, let's see, resins like benzoin or even, Elemi. When you're coming to that kinda stuff, it could be really, really expensive. And there's all kinds of different notes out there, so I can understand how some of these, fragrances can be high priced. And it all depends where you source your ingredients, whether you're working with raw materials and then you gotta what? I think they use that CO2 extraction and then they make it into an oil. So a lot goes into a fragrance. Now, I don't know everything, but this is just me giving my own interpretation of how some perfumers um, create fragrance and what they do behind the scenes. So, but sometimes, you could only be paying for the bottle and the cap, but I think I think Boadicea the Victoria's got some beautiful juice. They got some really nice fragrances when it comes to a rose. Um, for starters, I'm a huge fan of 1907. That's a beautiful fragrance. Super expensive. I wouldn't really recommend that to any of my new subscribers or anybody who is on a budget. I couldn't do that. But it's worth checking out, getting a sample and getting your nose on. That is a beautiful fragrance. That one, just like Soulful Sente was talking about on the last time he was on my channel when we were doing my series, Fragrance Madness. Um, Bodicea 1907, it has that uplifting, like nightlife energy to it where it's, party, clubbing, that kind of stuff. It's got that vibe all over it. That's why I really, really like that fragrance. And this one here, this one's beautiful. Ardent. I gotta say, hands down, it's a phenomenal scent when it comes to rose. This is something I would wear on date night. All around, this makes a nice date night scent. I find it grown up. I think, this is something I wouldn't recommend to a juvenile. Uh, other than that, the other fragrance there that I really, really like by Boadicea the Victorious is Night of Love. And I can see why Spence likes this fragrance. It's fire. Hands down, it's absolutely fire. You got juniper, pink pepper, you got red berries, cardamom, bergamot. Once you spray it in the opening, you really get that damask rose, cashmere, magnolia, violet, and then in the base you got tobacco leather, sandalwood, vanilla, benzoin, and amber. This is a beautiful fragrance. The opening, though, is kind of green in a way, and the way that bergamot hits you, it's almost like, taking a samurai sword and slicing through a bunch of fresh bergamots, and that zestiness just punches you in the nose. And then it settles down. It's a beautiful scent. I wouldn't mind owning this one sometime in my collection. That's pretty good. I'm not crazy for everything by Boadicea the Victorious, but some of them, absolutely. I think so far the only ones I really like is Ardent, Night of Love, and 1907. So, that being said, their samples aren't super expensive. Um, I know if you buy like a little travel size bottle, they do give you a free sample. I think one or two, somewhere around there. But they're little mini bottles. Some are pricey, some aren't. is you wouldn't get Night of Love because uh, never smelled it. If I would I'm not familiar with Montebaco Intensivio, but this one I wouldn't mind owning. So, if I got my nose on that, then I would probably feel the same way as you. But, I do hear Boadicea the Victorious is like a high-end clone house. I think they were at one time. That's what I've been hearing after I've been doing some thorough research. Of course, you're gonna have similarities. That's a given. It just happens like that, and you know, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Um, Far as Ginfinity goes by Gallagher, I wouldn't say it's similar to Gin and Tonic by M. Micallef at all, because it definitely changed. Because I'm not getting the gin anymore. It faded into the background. What I'm getting more is that cucumber water and this suede. So that's really good. That's different. That would make it a nice summertime scent. In fact, I could see this one being year round. Beautiful dry down. So right now, all I'm getting is this lavender and the suede. That's about it. Not bad. Pretty good. I'm not really picking up the gin as much, but it's pretty damn good. I like this. For people that like fragrances with the same profile, yeah, but for always trying to find different. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, Night of Love smells awesome, but if you own Montebaco Intensivo, yeah, I can't really blame you from getting Bo to see a Night of Love, it would be redundant. And that's kind of like where I'm at with some things. Unfortunately, I have some redundancy in my collection, and I ended up giving some of those bottles away. And I'm just trying to stay unique and go for what I like, that I want personally. Would I go out and buy Night of Love or 1907 tomorrow? No, they're not on my radar right now. I can appreciate these. What what is on my radar is and purple. I really in this. I've been enjoying the creativity and what David does with his perfuming. What? Do you ever have the inexplicable? No, I don't. And this is the wrong live stream for that kind of talk, man. Kidnapping, that would definitely get you thrown in not having that here. Yep. What? Oh, there we go. All right, that guy's gone. I blame that my way of thinking in a good way. EQ, like you said, and I took to heart. Build a wardrobe, not a collection. Yeah, that makes sense. No, at first, when I started my own journey, I was focused on a collection. But over time, after I got my nose on a whole bunch of different stuff, it's like now I rather curate. and have certain things in my wardrobe. That makes more sense. And and I've been coming to this kind of question over the last couple of months. You know, I ended up giving away a lot of my budget friendly fragrances. Not all. Some I got rid of. Some was like, what was it? Latafa Assad Elixir. I gave that away because I own Boss Bottled Absolute. I didn't feel the need of having that anymore. I gave away Assad. I kept Assad Zanzibar because I do enjoy that. Um, I gave away some other Latafas, Fire and Ice. I'm not really crazy for that one anymore because I plan on getting Angel Share Parody. I prefer the original. And the original smells way better than the dupe. And they're really not that close. So I just got to the point where I want unique and different stuff and have a unique wardrobe personally catered to me. Now, if I do buy budget friendly or other Hawass flankers, yeah, I'm gonna check them out, get my nose on it, give my honest review, whether it's good or not. Would I keep it? If it's good, yes. If it's not something I really need, I'll probably give it away. And I think I gave away probably a good 20 Latafas and some Paris corners that I just never wore. They just sat there. And it was just a waste to even have them, so I got rid of them. There's just no point. There's no point of just sitting on them and let them shelf and collect dust. It's not worth it. So, the only ones I really kept was, Coconut Lagoon, Hawass Verde, London, Hawass Ice, and Hawass Fire. I gave away Latafa Camera. I kept the Latafa Camera Dukhan. I like that one. Latafa Assad Zanzibar I kept. I do enjoy that sometimes during the summer. I kept some of my Fragrance World fragrances and the other ones, what is it? Paris Corner Adorn. I think I kept that one. And all the other ones I got rid of. I just didn't need them anymore. And ever since I started collecting the originals, all I want is originals. Now, I'm looking forward to checking out Hawass Cobra. I would like to get Hawass, besides that one, that new one, Hawass Thunder. That looks pretty good. And maybe Hawass Tropical. I did like that one. That was pretty good. And I haven't really seen anything interesting from Latafa, honestly. That I would like to get Kajal Island Dreams because I recently got my nose on Louis Vuitton Symphony, and that is phenomenal. Crazy expensive, but man, is it good. And I'm curious to see whether, since I'm familiar with Symphony by Louis Vuitton, I really like to know if Kajal Island Dreams is really there or not, as far as comparisons go. My brother just bought Louis Vuitton Symphony, and I checked it out the other day. Man, is that a beautiful fragrance? Is it worth $675 because that's what it goes for? There's yes and no to that. Um, if you're on a budget, no, it's not worth it. There's far better other fragrances out there that are cheaper, but I like it. Is it worth it to me? Yeah, I would. I see myself getting Louis Vuitton Symphony one day. I want that. I like it. And I think in that particular fragrance, the ginger, that grapefruit is the same note from L'Immensité. And then I pick up some orange out of there, far as the sweetness goes. It's a beautiful fragrance, absolutely stunning. And I couldn't really believe how long that fragrance actually lasted. I got some crazy longevity out of it. But $675, yeah, that's pretty hefty. That's a big price tag. I think the most expensive I paid alone on a fragrance by itself was Ombre Nomad, which was about $450 out the door. But I've been wanting that fragrance for a very long time, and I got it last year, and I'm happy I own it. And I think the second most expensive would be, hmm, the other Louis Vuittons that I own and Mind Games. But I look past the price points. I look at the scent profile. I like the way it moves me. I like the experience that I get with each and every fragrance. If that makes sense, that's what I like. Like Amongst Waves by Gallagher. As of right now, currently, this is my favorite fresh aquatic like fragrance. It's different than anything else in my personal collection. And it kind of reminds me of, it's given me bringing these like memories from a few years ago when I first tried surfing. And I had fun doing that. And it's given me those memories. That's why I like this scent so much. Kind of like Sunkissed Island by TLTG Reviews and Zaharov. I've been to Florida once in my lifetime, and I enjoyed the party life down there, and that kind of fragrance, evokes that atmosphere of being on a sun-kissed island, that beach, the nightlife, the party, all that fun stuff. So, I'm happy to own this in my personal collection, Amongst Waves by Gallagher, and I get like 9 hours on skin. Such a beautiful fragrance for a freshie, and I think a lot of his stuff are, high concentrations, far as an EDP goes. Yeah, but what more interesting, fulfilling, and rewarding is going through the whole fragrance. Yeah, yeah, I mean, people are gonna buy what they buy, you know? Not everybody's gonna like what you like. Not everybody's gonna, people are gonna agree to disagree. And I think everybody has a right to like what they like. And that is what matters, I think. You know, it is what it is. I can't, You got people who like Argos, mind games. You got people who like clones. It's all good. I don't really got nothing against clones. I'm just, I'm just out of that phase. I don't know. They don't, I just don't really, I don't want to sound contradicting either. I'm just not really impressed with clones. I used to be so, you know, chasing that hype, but I don't know. They don't really impress me anymore. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I can't lie. I'd rather be honest. Now, when it comes to like say a twist off something certain specific DNA where it's not one to one or not really a clone at all, kind of like how TLTG Reviews talks about with, Ahmed Al-Maghribi, Spectrum Chill. I like the direction it went off that Pacific Chill DNA. I, you know, I like those things. But, you know, I guess I could say is I kind of lost my interest with dupes. I'm just not crazy for them like I was when I started my own fragrance journey. And after everything I've gotten my nose on, I like where I am at today and I enjoy what I own and I like the quality of the perfumes. And I think the other thing that I don't like about some fragrances by Lattafa, it ma the oils that they use and they choose to use, it makes me sneeze a lot, and I do have a sensitive nose, and I don't get that with Zaharoff or, some of my other luxury niche fragrances I own. I get that a lot with some of the JPGs, like La Mall Elixir and Paradise Garden. Ugh, that makes my nose sneeze like crazy, and I can't really wear those. And that was the other issue I was really having with some of those Lattafa dupes. They were making my nose making me sneeze way too much, and I couldn't really enjoy wearing them, so I gave them away and got rid of them. But that is a good question, and, that is a good way of putting it. Everybody can buy expensive niche fragrance, but what's more interesting, yeah, rewarding going through the whole fragrance journey you to learn and evolve. That's what, you know, like I was telling you, I think late last night or today, after everything I've gotten my nose on when I first started my content and to where I am today, I felt like it was time for me to have Kevin create a fragrance for me, catered to my channel, my journey, and where I am today, and what I find interesting, whereas it's signature scent worthy for me. And I felt like it was time for me to move forward and do that. So I can't wait to have my own personal fragrance that I know I'm going to enjoy. And I got the coolest name for it, and the name will be revealed once I have my fragrance. So, I can't wait for that. I've been wanting my own fragrance for the longest time. Yeah, But what you mean is what would be more fulfilling? Here is all the answers or two. You learn and feel you got more out of it. Yeah, that is what I was trying to get at. Sometimes I have a hard way of wording certain things, but you took the words out of my mouth. That's kinda how I see myself now, where, you know, I'm getting more out of my fragrance journey and not just, having all the answers for everything. I kinda just, I'm starting to I'm kinda seeing things different with my fragrance journey than where I was, what, back in 2024 or even last year. I wanna say the beginning of this year, I started seeing things different, and I like the road that I'm currently on, and I like the direction I'm heading into, and, you know, so, yeah. But anyways, I kinda I kinda slimmed it down with some of these new designer releases, and I think I decided to pass on Polo 67 Extreme for right now, and White Iced Cologne. I'll get my nose on them a while at a later time. I wanna get that Stronger With You Powerfully 'cause, some people say they don't really pick up the cherry, some people say they do pick up the cherry, and I like cherry, and I actually wanna get that one. I smelled it when I was at Dillard's. It's actually interesting. Um, I kinda did pick up a cherry, but, the tester that was out didn't really have much juice left over. I couldn't really get much out of it, but I wanna get Stronger With You Powerfully. I would like to definitely check that out. Another one I wanna add, it's from Victor and Ralph, Metallic Musk by Spice Bomb. Oh, man. Spice Bomb Metallic Musk. I really like that. That is a beautiful fragrance for a designer. So, that is on my list. I definitely want that. Um, and of course, next is Deep Ocean Amber by Suspiro. I gotta get that one into my personal wardrobe. That's next. That's coming very soon. Um, with other than that, I thought about, uh, hmm, there's some other, fragrances I wanna check out by Sensual Obsession. He's got something new. In fact, I think he's always putting new releases out all the time. I wanna check this one. I think it's called Banana Mafia. Banana Milkshake Mafia. I like the scent profile on that one, and I wanna check it out. I plan on getting that, and I like banana, and it's basically like a banana milkshake, kinda creamy, lactonic, powdery. I wanna see how that one comes out, and I wanna check out his, Porthole P Paradise Porthole, I think it's called, and there's some other one, original that he has, the Fresh Fade. I gotta add that one. Yeah, it's called Banana Milkshake Mafia, I believe. if I'm not mistaken. I saw he posted it the other day, uh, on his channel in the community post section, and I liked it. I asked him during Grimm's live stream late last night, and he told me it's basically like a banana milkshake. So, that has my attention. Um, I wanna add some other stuff from him. I really like his work. I am I really, really like what he does. And, you know what's interesting? Um, it's in my collection. Where is it? This right here. This is this is grown folk stuff right here. This is I would say a dupe, and it's pretty close. This is a dupe on Killian. I think it's Dark Horse, something Dark Horse, I think it's called. And man, oh man, he did a good job with this one. But this is called Alpha Male. This is not for everybody. And man, do you really get a realistic, like, black leather in this. It's, like, very earthy, dirty. This is beautiful. Very dark, and it's smoky, kinda ashy too. This is very mature. It's not, appealing to a lot of people, but man, is this good. This is very good. So banana smells are like oud, not in smell, but in different ones you can have. That banana smell could underripe, ripe. I guess we'll see. But hey, what's up, Dame? Thank you for dropping by. What are you rocking? The spirit of Dubai? A y'all? Uh, I think you know what? I heard that name. I think what's his name from He Smells Like Rome? I think he talked about that one not long ago. It's like a hidden gem. The only one I own from the Spirit of Dubai is Bahar, which Joel told me about that one. But yeah. Since you're here, I got I put in an order yesterday to have my own custom fragrance done. So I can't wait for that. Oh yeah? Nice. Joel, terms are you close to being paused talking about bananas that way? So yeah, I put an order through at Sensual Obsessions. It was time for me to have my own custom fragrance. Once I have it in hand and it's out my way, things will be revealed. I only told a couple people about it, and the scent profile is a stunner. Yeah, he does. I'm a fan of his work. Um, Currently, my favorite one of his originals, and not, the clones or dupes that he does, nothing against it. Um, Cherry Smoked Bourbon is my favorite one by him. That is such a beautiful fragrance. The cherry is done right, the bourbon's kinda smoky, it's such a beautiful fragrance. It's my absolute favorite. Yeah, he was just, here chilling in my live stream a little bit ago. Yeah, this one is phenomenal. It's such a good one. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it focused. Really beautiful by Central Options. I really like this fragrance. And one of my other friends, occasionally I hear from him on Facebook, and he told me about this, so I went and right and bought it. And I've had this one for a while, and it's actually has reached its final potential. This one performs. Over time, it actually gotten better in performance and longevity. That one hits different. And I used to never like cherry, but French Defense helped me work out that issue when it comes to cherry. And ever since then, I enjoy cherry. Long as it's done right. And for me to like cherry, cherry has to blend with certain notes for me to really appreciate it. And what did it? French Defense, Kevin's cherry smoked bourbon. Oh, since you're here, Dutch, I absolutely agree with you 100%. Gallagher Purple Powder, it's that number one stunner. That's fire. You know, that one all around is super unique. It's different and it's complex and it's such a beautiful fragrance. I like the opening, you know, you got a little bit of that spice, yellow mandarin, and then instantly you get this iris powder, benzoin, toasted cinnamon, and it's kind of woody, cedar wood. That's really good. And there's other notes in here, and it's phenomenal. Um, he's got a new release as well. He sent me his newest and latest release in 2026. He sent me a sample, and it's called Ginfinity, and I'm impressed. I like his new release. This one's clean, clean, easy to wear, slightly mass appealing in a way now that it's dried down, but Ginfinity, you got coastal botanicals, cucumber water, gin, new suede, violet leaf, and lavender. It's a beautiful fragrance. Later, Joel, but this is a pretty good fragrance. So I'm happy to get. I'm happy he sent me a free sample of his latest release. I'm definitely gonna add purple powder to my collection sometime. So that was a good one. I'm happy I got my nose on that. I'm probably gonna save the other 2 samples for another live stream and my other Bodicea. Yeah, I'm liking Ginfinity. This is good. So yeah, my next one to grab, yeah, I ordered Ross's. Justin's, you know, I didn't want to. And there's yes and no answers to it. I have Seamless Soul. I have a 30 mil of Brass and Soul and Second Soul. Don't get me wrong, Soul Elixir looks absolutely beautiful. It's kind of boozy and it's got that Bushman candle wax in the dry down. but I know it's a good fragrance, but, I already have Precious Treasure. I already got Seraphine Coos. It just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't on my radar. What I wanted was, Ross's new remix off Business Over um, Pleasure. That one really caught my eye the most, you know? It's just, I'm happy for both of those guys and with George. And yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't blame you one bit, you know? I just didn't feel like pulling the trigger on Soul Elixir. Nothing personal, nothing against it. Beautiful scent profile, absolutely. But pleasure over business was really moving me, and the way he explained it, and it really has my attention. And that was the only one. And not only that, there is another Zaharoff release for George sometime in June that really has my attention more than anything. I'm not really gonna say nothing, but I seen some things on Instagram already, and I'm really looking forward to one of George's new releases next month. So, yes. Yeah, that has my full attention. So it was like, should I just get Soul Elixir? I was like, you know what? I got Seamless Soul and I have little 30 milliliters. I'm going to wait for this lemon one. I want that. That has my absolute attention. So, but anyways, I showed Dutch my scent profile that I came with up. It took me a year. It's been 1 year ago today, and I came up with my own scent profile, and I can't wait to see Kevin make it come to life. And it's a beautiful scent profile, and it looks really good. Yeah, you know, over the years of everything I've gotten my nose on, what I really enjoy the most, I wanted to, finally have my own personal custom fragrance that really defines what who Scented Paradise really is from where he started and to where he evolved today. So, I want it to be intentional and unique that's catered to what I really enjoy, where it's kind of put, you know, personal. Once I have it, I will talk about it, but it's definitely, not some basic scent profile. I would definitely say maybe along the lines of like you know, in between luxury niche and a little step below that, but it's good. So I can't wait for that to come to life. And I am a fan of Kevin's work, so I know it'll come out good. But yeah, it was time for me to put that into motion and have my own stuff in my own wardrobe. So I can't wait to have that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Yeah, what I'm planning on getting next month is Purple Powder by Gallagher. Imma get the Fresh Fade and Purple Rain by Kevin. I want those 2. Those are my next ones for sure. And I think one of the new designers and only one of the new designers I'm gonna get is, Stronger With You Powerfully. Um, I was gonna get my nose on white iced cologne, but I did when I was at Dillard's. Do I really need to own it? Not really. I don't know. I just don't really need a Y flanker. So far, my favorite, the only Y flanker that I really absolutely enjoy is YO Fresh. Y Intense isn't bad. That one actually started growing on me. Yeah. I thought about Polo 67 Extreme, but Imma hold off on it. So, the next designer I get is probably most likely gonna be Spice Bomb Metallic Musk. I really like that scent and how it smells on me. Yeah, those 2 I would like to check out as well. So, and I also kinda am building up another scent profile. That's something else I will do over time. So I'm sure. Yeah, I heard Plum and Cognac, he destroyed it. Yeah, that was probably, um I was thinking it was either Spice Bomb Metallic Musk. I really like that by Victor and Ralph. I would take that over the Y flanker. Um, I did get my nose on Polo 67 Extreme. It's good, but I'm not, it's not really on my radar at the moment. Stronger With You Powerfully is, but what I really, really want to get is that one, Guerlain Adiel Forte Cologne. I would like to get my nose on it, and I hear it's pretty good. What's the other one? Definitely the new release by Gallagher, Ginfinity, and I'm definitely gonna get Purple Powder. Hands down. I'm glad you told me about that one. That's beautiful. And it's crazy that, I was reading some of these comments on Parfumo and other places, just seeing what people are saying. They're, I think, purposely just talking crap out the side of their neck just to hate on it. But that's beautiful fragrance. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's good. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Uh, I was, looking at Wicked Good, Amongst Waves. Yeah, Amongst Waves by Gallagher. It's absolutely beautiful, stunning. And this one actually performs for me too. I tested it 2 days in a row, I was wearing it, and I was just amazed by how well this fragrance performs. Hey, what's up, Will? Hey, nothing wrong with chilling or trolling, depending which direction you're going with. If it's somebody you hate, hey, I'm all for that. But when it's people crapping on a fragrance for no apparent reason, yeah, you know, if it's done wrong, then, there's no fun. But, uh, Yeah. So, Purple Powder by Gallagher. SP, those are huge LV bottles. Damn, you got some heat back there. Yes, Dutch, you're absolutely right. Oh, yeah, you mean my, display case? Yeah. It's kinda like, the one Spence has, just a different color. You know, it actually has a human sensor built in, and, when I have it on, you could walk up to it, turns on, walk away, it turns off. But yeah, I got some heat in there. The real JoJo. Suggest you a summer frag for 60 bucks. Huh. Polo 67 EDP, $60. Hey, you know what? Better yet, Sensual Obsession, the fresh fade. And you won't even pay that much money. It's like 40 some bucks. You should, the real JoJo, you should definitely check out Sensual Obsession. Shout out to Sensual Obsession. That guy's got phenomenal stuff for summer. And then his stuff definitely performs and projects. I recommend I recommend the Fresh Fade. If you look up his website, Sensual Obsessions. In fact, he's on YouTube and he is one of my subs. It's I think it's his website, what? Sensual Obsessions LLC. Look up the Fresh Fade. He's got some phenomenal stuff. Every scent profile, every DNA, dupes, whatever you like. I think he's like 40 some dollars. And I own four of them. And, you know, in fact, could do it this way. You know, here's his name. Get it in the focus here. You know, Sensual Obsessions. And he does amazing work. Cherry smoked bourbon is an original. He does originals, but he also does phenomenal dupes as well. Uh, the Fresh Fade by Sensual Obsessions, like a green Fougere barber top fresh fragrance, I guess is the best way I can put it. Yeah, it's his original work. Yes, Dutch, that's his new one. Yeah, it's like citrus, kinda green. I think there's, mint, maybe green tea in it as well, and that's where I picked it up from, was from Ross. He enjoyed it. He liked it, so I plan on getting that one sometime. And, Kevin's always coming out with a bunch of crazy, new releases all the time. I just saw one not too long ago. I think it was the other day on, his YouTube channel in the, community post section. I think it was called, Banana Milkshake Mafia or some wild shit like that, but it looks good. And, I have a dupe of his that he did. It's called Freak in the what is it? Freak in the Sheets, which is a dupe of Fragrance Dubai Cavort. And my God, did he do a good job with that one. I was blown away when I put my nose to it. I was shocked. And the only other dupe that I do own by Sensual Obsessions, it's called Alpha Male. Yeah, it's good. You know, if you're familiar with Cavort by Fragrance Dubai with that DNA, that one's pretty good. It has a beautiful rose, and it's, you know, where I do my content, it's in my basement, kind of like, near my pool table and entertainment system and stuff. And I sprayed it last night just to check it out. You know, I had to go upstairs, do some other things. I come back down, it just wafted everywhere in my room and it was smelling good. And his version, what he did, I was just like, wow, that is a good one. So I currently own four by Sensual Obsession. Um, I have cherry smoked bourbon, which is one of his originals, and cherry is done right here in this fragrance. I have Alpha Male, which is, I think, by Killian Dark Horse. This is very smoky, grown up. And if you like leather, this is for people who appreciate leather. It's like a wet, you know, kind of like, let's say, a leather vest that I own. Riding in the rain, your leather vest gets wet. It's got that kind of smell, but very smoky, very dirty and earthy. My kind of stuff. And then I think the other dupe I have is that Gourmand Paradise, which is that his version of Casmerati Italica. I like his version better than the original. And then the other one, I think it's what is it? Freak in the Sheets. And that's a good one. And I think it might be my scent of the day tomorrow. Freak in the Sheets. And that's phenomenal fragrance. So it's been about what? A little over an hour and a half. I think I'm shut it down, go eat, and then go enjoy my Sunday night. I got a personal day off tomorrow, so I think I'm gonna go head out of town for the night. But anyways, I appreciate all you guys who tapped in from the beginning and for ones who came in for the last what 10, 15, 20 minutes. Stay safe. God bless. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Keep smelling good. And I will see you guys next week, same time. And oh yeah, that reminds me. I will have another special guest soon on my channel. And in June as well. So be on the lookout for that. And Fragrance Madness episode 3 is coming soon. Until next time, peace out. Smell your best, because it's Scented Paradise approved.